Good afternoon and welcome to another week in our garden. It's a lovely overcast day, but the pollen is very high, so my sinuses are having a little bit of trouble today. Now I've got quite a bit of picking to do today, but we'll start here in the top greenhouse with the cucumbers and the tomatoes. I'm just going to take off these cucumbers at the bottom. There is quite a few, but if we don't take them off, the plant will probably stop producing at the top. So I'm going to cut quite a few cucumbers off. Now, I've taken 6 cucumbers, seven actually, because we took one earlier this morning and gave it to my sister. So we've just cut 6, maybe 7, and it's still left, believe it or not, 11 waiting to be nearly picked. So these are producing very well. But I'm also looking up at the top here that I was a bit concerned that there wasn't going to be any, but they're still producing at the top. There's loads, look, there's 3 over there, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. They're still producing, so I'm quite happy. But I will try and get those off as soon as possible to get the goodness going back up. Now they're the ones that have picked. That's 3 plus the 1, 7. Good cucumbers. Obviously that one and that one will stay with us, but the others will be given away. Somebody's talking to me on the blog, and they're saying they're having trouble with the string that they've got holding their tomatoes, etc. up, and they kept sliding down the smooth string. And I said that I'll find what we used to have in the nursery. I was sure I had some, and I have. It's like a non-slip cord. Now whether you can still get it or not, I don't know, but when you feel it, it's very knobbly. So, and we used to hold them on with a clip that went on, then a round bit and another clip, so it made a circle like that, and we used to hold the trees etc. up with that, but they will not slip once you've tied something onto it. I can't remember what it's called. All I can remember, I got it from nursery supplies, but that was a long time ago. And this proves that it's non-rot as well, because I say a long time, that was probably over 20 years this has been in use. While we're here, we're going to start picking some of these tomatoes. You can see they're producing quite well now, and under here the large ones are beginning to produce as well. I'm just going to pop them in that trunk with the cucumbers for now. Now there's those few there out of this top greenhouse. There's some more on the outside plants that we'll pick as we get down there. Now we're going to make our way into the fruit cage, because I think there's quite a few berries in there once picking. Now we're going to pick some red currants, some raspberries, strawberries and white currants. Now what I should do, I should show you the bushes, and then I should need Diane to give me a hand to pick them. So let's show you what we're doing. As you can see, there's the red currants. They look well, they're ready, very ready. The thing with these, if you leave them too long, they'll either drop off or the mice will take them. The raspberries, I had a massive pick off these in the week. I stayed with them till I nearly got every ripe raspberry, and they're all ready again now, so that'll want picking over. A few strawberries ready. These are Malwina, they're beautiful strawberries. I should pick these and the tail end of the early strawberries, trying to get those out of the way. I'll also pick the white currants. Now the poor thing, she hadn't produced too many this year because, believe it or not, I actually moved it 4 yards down the the fruit cage, likewise the gooseberry. So I didn't think we'd get any crop at all, but we have a small crop, so we'll take those, because the white currants, I believe, are the best currants you can have. Poor old gooseberry in the move hasn't fared quite so well, so there is a few on it. The berries are very small. Diane will help me get these picked, and then we'll come back to you and show you what we've actually got out of this little fruit cage. Done quite a bit of picking in this fruit cage. We'll just show you what we've picked. That is plenty for now. Good strawberries. The darker coloured ones are the actual Malwinas coming through. They're a little bit later than the others, but as you can see, huge berries. Raspberries, the red currants are still coming through, so we've got loads and loads. Let me show you if I can. Look here, look. These are not quite ready yet. They just lift out. There you go. There's that many berries on, they've pulled the branches to the ground, but as you can see, they're not quite ready. You can see there's loads of reds left, but we've got enough to cope with for now. We will have to come back and pick some more. As you can see, obviously these this side are not ready yet. Now we're going back down the garden now, do a bit more harvesting. I'll get these put somewhere safe, and then we'll get on. As you can see, there's quite a few cherries still to pick. I have picked these in the baskets earlier when I had a bit of time. It looks like there's a storm brewing, so it's a good job I picked these cherries when I did. Good morning. We was rained off yesterday trying to harvest, so we've picked it up again this morning, and hopefully we'll get it all done. It's quite a bit to do, so we'll get it. Now I'm going to lift 3 more beetroot. Di says she just wants 3 for now, so we'll lift 3 of those. That's a nice beetroot. What I should do, I should take them to the wash area where we wash the veg, and then I'll take the tops off there, but remember, I'll just twist them off when we get there. The next one on the line's a bit small, so we'll miss that one and go for the next one. There you are, another nice beet, that is. You don't want them much bigger than that, not for salads. If they're bigger than that, then you need to pickle them. That's a nice one as well, that'll do nicely. While we're at the beetroot, if you can see these hoops, I've tried to grow some carrots and they're a bit sparse. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these hoops across the plot where I've got them, and then put an insect mesh over that just to keep carrot fly out. I could just put the insect mesh round at about 3 foot high, but it'll be easier to just pop these loops in and drape the mesh over it and peg it. While I'm here, I'm just going to lift a few of these shallots. They are going over now, so we'll have a look and see what they're like underneath, and then I will get them lifted, because I don't like to leave shallots in the ground once they start to fall, because they'll rot at the bottom, especially if we get some rain and some warm days. We'll lose them. Not the biggest, but they are shallots. So let's have a look. Hang on, that's better. Yeah, they're fine, but you can see, if you see how damp they are, when it gets warm, that's where your mildew is going to form. So if we can lift them and get them dried, then they'll keep better. I'll just lift one. I'll lift 3 And then, as I say, I will get these lifted. That's quite a big one, look. But I know some people leave them in until the tops are really down, but I don't think. I'll show you why in a second. If I just separate them a bit so they'll dry better. They're fine, look now. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Can you see this one? You can see the mildew forming already, look. Now at the moment that's quite firm, so if we dry it, clean it and dry it, that'll be fine. But you can see if you leave them in, the mildew will start getting to them. It's just like a white onion, right? I'll just spread them and leave them here in the sunshine for a little while, but I will put them into the mushroom crates and take them to the shed so the air can go through the crates, and if it rains I can quickly take them in or cover them up. I showed you that bit of mould on them, so I will actually lift these this afternoon, guaranteed they will come out. Now we're going to have a look at some peas. Now the pollen is still very high today, so I'm still suffering a little. On our way to have a look at the peas, there's a few courgettes want lifting, so I'll do these, put them there, and then we'll make our way to the peas. If we didn't take that one today, it would have been a marrow tomorrow. Just pop them there. That's a courgette, isn't it? And one more, I believe, down there. I'll try and get it. Right, there's a few courgettes. Obviously you're going to get courgettes, courgettes, courgettes. We'll use what we can and try and get people to take them as well. It might be a case of leaving them on doorsteps. And I've opened one of the peas up. I think they're ready. I'll just have Diane do a taste test and then we'll see. Diane says yes, so we'll see if we can pick some of these peas. What I shall do though, because they are dwarf, and as you can see they're a bit of a mess, I shall have to lift the whole plant so we've got a space there when they've been harvested. Now there's one or two more peas here showing well, so we'll just open one of those and have a look. So just tear them back and then the pod opens better. If I can just get rid of that one so I can get... There you are. That is a very full pod, isn't it? Taste test. We got 2 yeses, so we'll harvest some of these, but mainly the dwarfs, because as you can see they're all over the place. So let's get those clear, and I might be able to pop I might be able to pop another crop in there. I don't know what yet, but I'll find something. Now what I'll do is just I'll just lift them like that, take them to the path and then strip them off. I try and leave as much root in as possible. There's the nitrogen globes things on it so they can stay in the soil. So we'll get some done and we'll show you what we've got. This is the first harvest of the peas. Quite a few there. I think there's going to be 2 people sat podding later today. Now we've peed up and we've come to the tomato plot. I'll just show you before we go in and have a look what's in there. But as you can see, the tomatoes are doing very, very well. The colour's all good. I'm quite happy with them this year. They're growing very, very well. I'm well pleased. So we'll pop down and see what's down there on the bottom. And there's a few Gardener's Delight here. Now I think I got the tomato plants mixed up a little this year, because we've got Gardener's Delight down here, 2 or 3 I think. In the top greenhouse where these should be, we've got Crimson Crush. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to take what's here. But to say they've been outside, I'm quite pleased with them. Although the weather's been very kind for tomatoes up to now. I do believe there's 2 more behind me here. Loads coming. And probably 1 up here somewhere. There's a small handful of confused tomatoes. They're saying it's not, we shouldn't be growing here really. I'm going to take a clump or so of these spring onions as well while we're here. They're a nice size at this end now. Some of these bigger ones, I think. There are just a few. We'll have to wash them at the tank and then separate them. But as you can see, they're still coming very well, the onion. We've got 3 batches of Guardsman onions in, but I've actually set the next batch of seed ready to follow on from those. They do take a few days to germinate. Now we'll lift this Lollo Rosso. It's just beginning to lift a little bit in the middle, but we'll be able to use some of these leaves at the top, will not be wasted. We'll take it out with a root, like we do. There we are, just knock the soil off. So there you are, that's a nice lettuce, but as I say, it is beginning to stretch, but there's plenty in there for what we'll want. And of course, anything we don't eat, the chickens will eat anyway. And they absolutely love the red lettuce. We're just going to dig a root of these new potatoes. They are first earlies. I do believe they was called Rocket, but we'll dig one and have a look how they're progressing. We haven't had the best of weather for potatoes, but we'll look anyway. What we'll do, we'll just separate them so I can get one. That was on the surface, so there are potatoes there. That shouldn't be too bad at that. I'll get the fork and we'll lift this root here and see what we've got. There we go. Nice and gentle. Get well below and give them a... And there are potatoes there, but... Right. Oh. We'll put them in this mushroom crate. Yeah. So I'll just lift it. There's a lot of top there. Let's hope there's plenty under it. There's a lot of top. Right, let's see. Decent potatoes, and you just touch them and the skin comes away, so they're nice. I try and get some of the dirt off, obviously. There's no slug damages yet. Very good. I'll have to put the fork in again and see what else is in there. Oh, there's one more. That's got a slug hole in it, look. Now, that's got a lot of slug holes in it, and I have treated this twice with Nemeslug. So I've got resistant slugs, or the Nemeslug's not working very well. Scratch that one, look. Never mind. Take them all, don't forget. Take them all. You can see the land's quite dry as well. Quite dry. Don't want to go too far that way, so I'll be digging another one. That's it, I believe. Oh no. One more. There they are then. There's just the one, two with a few slug holes in, but that's not so bad. There's plenty there for what we want. Got down to the rhubarb, if you remember all the work we did on it. It's grown up again, and I'm going to take some of the red stalks for a pudding this weekend. They'll be beautiful and sweet, and because they've regrown. Just a minute, I'll get a few in the I think there was redder in that one now. They're looking good, beautiful. I just want to try and get the thickest and reddest out. The rest, look at that, beautiful. Now there's some nice rhubarb. That's the second crop, so that's done very, very well. It's amazing how it grows in 3-4 weeks and produce the second crop. What I like to do is I picked rhubarb today. I might take one more pick off it for this year, and then I shall let it rest and then let it go up for next year. I'll take some of these carrots. I do believe now they're coming to the end in this trough, so I should try and take half out and then half to follow in a couple of days or so. But they've made carrots. You can see that little bit of redding at the top is where the sun's got them. I did move them up there out of the sun, but they're fine. Yeah, and now we'll be having some of these with our Sunday lunch with the peas, and the rhubarb will be made into a crumble for afters. It makes your mouth water, you know. Yeah, well, I think there's one more handful here, and we'll leave the rest so I can come back and take some more. There you are, quite good, quite good. The thing is, when you've taken a few out of a trough, you really need to cover those tops up. I don't think I did it last time, that's why we've got the purple bits. Now we've still got a few radish there to lift, so I'll lift those. The downside of the radish in the trough and in the ground really, if they get too hot they won't swell up. So even though I popped them round the corner here in the shade, the other trough is not doing so well as this one did because it was cooler when these grew. What I should do is, same like I'm going to do with the carrots, I'll empty this trough and reset it, and you can reset them every 10 days anyway, because radishes are up. 10 days after that you're lifting them, so they're a good quick crop. As you can see, grown in the trough, beautiful and clean. So I'll pick these through. If they don't get any bigger, I'll put those into the compost bin. The actual compost that's in there, that won't go in the bin, that'll go straight onto the soil somewhere, because it's compost, it's done its rotting, so if you put it in the bin it just sits there until you empty it. We're just passing the Swiss chard and we decided we're going to take 1 or 2 leaves. You can see, look at the colour of that, bright red. The beauty of the Swiss chard actually is the more you cut it and water it, the more it will grow. So there's, and if you get an excess, the chickens absolutely love it. I'll take that one, I think. That's 3 red. We'll take 3 of this yellow one, that's pretty. The colour is just a bit like the courgette colour, that is. And one more, that one I think. And we'll take 3 of this one as well. You could actually just break it off, I think. No, we'll cut it. I didn't want to break it off, it might damage the stem. That's the chard we've harvested. Wonderful colours. You could actually grow these in your flower beds if you didn't have chickens and they'd look superb. Lettuce, loads of the cucumbers, the first of the tomatoes and the last of the radish. There's the Guardsman spring onions, a little bit larger those, but they taste actually better for a bit being bigger. Courgettes, lovely lemon colour. There's kale, some carrots and quite a few peas. Then we had some nice rhubarb. That will make a beautiful pie because it's newly grown. Beetroot, a few of the new potatoes. You see the skins are coming off on their own, very nice. And some Swiss chard. All the colours, that looks nice. These are the currants, the red and the white. The cherries, morello cherries. Raspberries are ready for picking again, believe it or not. And the strawberries, and they're the second crop coming through now that look a bit different. They're Malwina. It's just beginning to rain and Diana stood me out here so I get wet. that'll be it for this week. That was a very good summer harvest, believe me, that there's a lot of crop there. Now that'll be it for this week. As I said, thank you for watching. Many thanks for subscribing. We will put those winter brassicas in next week. We were going to do it this week and now, but I've got some of the seed ready, so we could put that in next week, get them underway, ready for the winter. Take care everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.